does it really look like to be the bride? And how do we make that transition from the church to the bride?
Simply said, it's how we identify, right? It's our identity. And I think we can all agree that we have seen massive warfare over identity on an individual basis, within the church, outside the church. And then now we have this, church as business, and then the living, breathing church, us as the individuals, right? But I think we're at this place in time, and this is kind of a precursor, because I think this is kind of what's coming out futuristically here.
Get a sneak peek at a word you're about to release. I love
Yes. And that is that Jesus, in his return, is not coming back for a church. He's coming back for a bride. He is the bridegroom. And if we are not seeing ourselves as his bride, we will not behave as such. And part of that is walking through the planning and the preparation that a bride does. And something he dropped into my spirit over the weekend was when here in the natural, when we are planning a wedding, right? A newly engaged couple, it's typically the bride who sets the date for the wedding. So if Jesus is coming back for a bride, don't you think that in his times and seasons of things, he is actually awaiting for the bride to come into agreement that she's actually a bride. She's wanting to be prepared to do so and to be that, but also in that preparation, in a sense, coming into that identity, we are then coming to an agreement with setting the date of the bridegroom to return. It's all about our identity. And I think this is where we have to be very intentional about that identity agreement and the words that we use to speak forth. Christian just really meant Christ follower. Yes, I follow Christ. I'm trying my best on my day-to-day life to walk in his footsteps. But in the grand scheme of things, I am a part of his bride, and I want to be a part of coming into that identity, because no, I'm not looking for the great escape, but I am looking for my bridegroom to come. And I think when we step into that place, that is part of our ascension on his holy hill. Right? And so I think it has everything to do with identity, but it also has everything to do with preparation and surrender.
That's so good. I cannot wait to hear that word when it comes out. Because it's so true. Why God is waiting. Like, God knows the time, right? And he's given opportunities. God sets we have to get in sync. We have to come into agreement with the times and seasons of God. And I love this line of yours. Stop looking to roll up your rapture rug, right? Because there's certain things that we have got to do as the bride, and we don't have that identity. What does Romans 8 say? It says that all creation is eagerly waiting for the sons of God to reveal. Like, we have an identity crisis. We're not doing it. Some are here and there. There's a pocket of few, but if we are honest and real with ourselves, not all of us are walking in it to the fullest all the time. And it's not just supposed to be a Sunday morning or a Wednesday night when we go to church, or Saturday or whatever. It's not supposed to be just saved for the conferences. It's supposed to be, we are the bride. We have this identity as the bride. We are making ourselves ready as the bride, and God will determine the time, but we've got to come into agreement with him so that he can actually fulfill what he wants to do. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I cannot wait to hear how the Lord unpacks that for you. And we got a little sneak peek here on Dare to Hear.
Yes.